Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Orthodoxy 101. Well, in our continuing series on Orthodox wedding service, today we're going to be talking about wedding rings and the blessing of the rings. So first, let's talk about a couple of things that you may not have thought about. Number one, do we need rings? Well, the answer to that is yes. But as I mentioned in my previous video, we don't need an engagement ring and a wedding ring. We just need a ring for the bride and a ring for the groom. And then sometimes it comes up, well, what if we can't afford something really nice? Okay, there's no stipulation in Orthodoxy about what material it has to be made of or the cost of it or anything. So if you're low on funds, okay, you can always find even a piece of costume jewelry because it's the significance of the ring, not the ring itself, that's important for the ceremony. And then later on, when you're doing better and you want to buy a better quality ring, the only thing you need to do is bring the new rings into the priest, and then he'll perform a blessing of the rings, and then you can use those. On the other hand, what wouldn't be allowed as a ring? Well, that's pretty straightforward. You don't want something, let's say, that's got skull and crossbones on it. I mean, you're not a pirate. Or something that has a pentagram that would obviously then have kind of satanic symbolism, or for that matter, anything that indicates pagan symbology. So pretty much a simple ring, very similar to what I'm wearing right here, is what is most common within the Orthodox Church. We don't have any designation on the type of metal that it should be, how ornate it should be, just as long as you remember the guidelines I mentioned earlier. Now, as to the actual blessing of the rings and then the exchange of the rings, keep in mind my betrothal video where I said all of that is a fairly recent innovation that happened in about the 15th or 16th century. So I want to start with that. Typically what is done is that the priest will bless the rings over the gospel. And then with both those rings, he will then bless the couple, each one. He'll bless the groom and betroth him to his fiancée, and then vice versa. The priest will do that 3 times for one and 3 times for the second. After that, he will give the rings to the kubara or the kubata. And what they will do is they will take the rings, one in each hand. The couple will have their hands out together like this. And then the kubata will do the exchange of rings. So in the American tradition, we begin open and then we cross 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Whereas in the Greek tradition, we start crossed and end crossed. 1, 2, 3. At which time, the kubata or the kubata will give the rings back to the priest, and then the priest will place the rings on the groom and the bride. This is a bit different from the American or the Protestant tradition, which is that the groom places the ring on the bride, and then the bride places the ring on the groom. Again, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. And remember to join us for our next installment on Orthodox wedding service and customs. And remember, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon.